All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about a huge shift happening in the world of cybercrime. We're seeing a brand new generation of phishing attacks, and trust me, they are way smarter and a whole lot more dangerous than anything you're probably used to seeing.
So let me ask you something. You know when you get that little 6-digit code sent to your phone? You type it in and you feel pretty safe, right? That second step, that MFA, it's supposed to be our digital deadbolt. But what if it's not the unpickable lock we all think it is?
Because right now, there's a whole new lineup of incredibly sophisticated toolkits being sold on the web. And their one and only job? To completely bypass that multi-factor security we all depend on every single day. Yeah, we're definitely in a dangerous new era for phishing. This isn't about those kind of obvious, poorly spelled emails anymore. Nope, this is organized, this is professional, this is commercial-grade crime. So let's take a look at the new villains on the block. Here's our lineup for today. We're going to break down 4 of the biggest new kits out there: BlackForce, GhostFrame, Inbox Prime AI, and one called Spider-Man. Each one of them has its own specialty, its own unique way of getting past your defenses. Think of them as the new rogues gallery of the digital world.
So first up, we have BlackForce, and its mission is pretty simple and honestly terrifying. Its goal is to completely defeat that digital lock, your multi-factor authentication. And it does this using a trick that's been around for a while, but has been perfected to be incredibly effective.
It's called a man-in-the-browser attack. Now, that might sound super technical, but the concept is actually pretty straightforward. Basically, the attacker slips in and becomes a totally invisible middleman between you and the website you think you're logging into. They just sit there, watching everything you type and grabbing it the instant you do. Let me show you exactly how that plays out. This is where the magic happens. You put your password into the fake website. The attacker's bot immediately takes that password and uses it on the real website. That, of course, triggers a real security code to be sent to your phone. The fake site then says, hey, please enter that code. And as soon as you do, bam, they have it and they use it instantly. You've literally just held the door open for them. And we're not talking about some obscure tool here. It's built to impersonate huge brands we all use every day, and it's being sold for just a couple €100 on Telegram. What's really scary are those last 2 points. Cache busting is a trick to make sure your browser always loads their newest, most malicious code. And actively developed means this isn't some static piece of software. Its creators are constantly in a cat-and-mouse game, updating it to beat the very latest security patches. Okay, let's move on to our next player, GhostFrame. If BlackForce is all about interception, GhostFrame is all about stealth. Its entire game is based on the art of invisibility.
Now, this is the genius of GhostFrame's whole trick. Any automated security scanner that looks at the web page just sees a totally harmless blank page. But for you, the actual person, the kit secretly loads the real malicious login form inside what's called an iframe. It's like a hidden window nested inside the page. The threat is literally hiding right there in plain sight.
And that is exactly why it's so ridiculously effective. Most security tools just do a quick surface-level scan of that outer page and give it the all clear, completely missing the danger hidden inside. And to make things even worse, the source of that malicious iframe is always changing, so it's a constantly moving target that's almost impossible to block. Okay, so we've covered MFA busting and we've covered stealth, but what about doing this at a massive scale? Well, that's where Inbox Prime AI comes into the picture. This is the moment artificial intelligence officially enters the phishing game, and believe me, it changes everything.
And just look at this. For a one-time payment of $1,000, a criminal gets a license forever with the full source code. This isn't just selling a tool anymore. This is being sold as a professional software suite, a complete business in a box for anyone who wants to become a scammer.
So what does your $1,000 get you? Well, you get an AI that writes perfectly fluent, convincing phishing emails. It's designed to mimic how real humans write so it can slip right past spam filters. It uses something called syntax to create thousands of unique versions of every message, so no two are exactly alike. It even has a built-in spam checker to help the bad guys test and improve their scams. We are talking about phishing at an industrial scale. Researchers who've looked at this put it perfectly. They call it the industrialization of phishing. And what that means is the barrier to entry has just been completely lowered. Now more attackers, even less skilled ones, can launch bigger and more sophisticated campaigns than ever before, totally overwhelming our traditional defenses. And that brings us to our final kit, which is called Spider-Man.
This one is laser-focused on the highest value target of all, your money. Forget about stealing your Netflix account. This is all about draining your bank account. It comes preloaded with dozens of pixel-perfect copies of login pages for major European banks and financial services. I mean, look at these names: Deutsche Bank, ING, PayPal. The goal here is to create a fake page that is so convincing, so perfect, that even a really careful person would have a hard time spotting that it's a fake. And look at the sheer range of what this thing is built to steal. It's not just after your password. It's designed to grab everything needed to control your finances. One-time codes, special banking codes from apps, credit card details, even the secret seed phrases to your crypto wallets. This isn't just a theft tool. It's a complete financial takeover kit. And here's another really interesting detail. Unlike the other kits sold on more open forums like Telegram, Spider-Man is being sold in more private, end-to-end encrypted groups on Signal. This suggests that these criminal groups are getting way more serious about their own operational security. So, when you put it all together, what's the big takeaway here? BlackForce, GhostFrame, Inbox Prime AI, Spider-Man, these aren't just four separate tools. They are all symptoms of a much bigger, much more dangerous trend. The entire cybercrime industry is evolving at a terrifying speed. This timeline really just drives the point home. Look at the speed of this. We're not seeing these things pop up once a year. They're emerging month after month after month. The pace of innovation on the criminal side of the fence is, well, it's just staggering. So if you only take one thing away from this, please let it be this. The game has fundamentally changed. Phishing is not just some amateur sending a fake email anymore. It is now a sophisticated, automated, and industrialized service, complete with professional software, AI writers, and customer support. And that leaves all of us with the single, most important question. We can clearly see that the attackers are getting smarter, they're getting faster, and they are getting way more organized. So the real challenge now is, how do we do the same?